What were the determining factors in them deciding to take the strap off of Pedro?
This is the second time I took it, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Just as a heel, I was doing a lot of business with the strap. I did good business. They would split me and Backlund up on all the cards, and on the big shows they put us together. But on the smaller shows, that belt could carry any type of weight, any type of weight that they wanted it to, no matter where it went. There was a lot of heat on me and the organization, the people that that were connected with me and stuff at the time. I think Lou and some other stuff, So that I my feeling, they could pretty much probably for Snuka getting that belt. I don't think it's a case of if you give it to him, he's got to lose it eventually.
Right.
And I don't think they would want they would want that another determining factor aside from his personal matters, which wouldn't like an ex-champion. It's okay if you're a heel. And you can always get your heat back some way, one way or somewhere else. But as a baby face, and you're that high, and you're that, no matter how big the screw is, you're still losing the belt.
Right.
So I think that it plays a part in everybody's mind, and their mind, and just to keep him as he was, because he was, a tremendous card.
Who comes to you and tells you that you're going to get it back? Who was this at the time in '83? It wasn't Patron.
Probably
yet,
Senior.
Right? Oh, so.
Yeah, I'm sure if it was Garden and Pedro, I'm sure probably Senior.
Was this part of the plan because you dropped it to Pedro in November of '81,
right?
Before getting it back in January. Was it always the plan that you would come back and get it again, or was it just kind of up in the air until they saw that you could
not
still
that I
draw?
knew. I had no idea that it was going to happen. But I guess I came back in after. In those days, the top heel would come in for 6, 7, 8 months and then go out, and probably not come back for quite some time.
That's right.
But this was we're going over. This was a big boiling pot here. This is a big turmoil. So things were changing. Yeah. Things were different. I didn't even have to leave the first time, but yet chose to. And did the TBS and the Carolinas and stuff with Piper and all that other stuff previously to '83. But as far as I know, it would just I guess it seemed like the right move for them to make at the time, because I still had all the heat I had when I left, when I came back.
Was there any heat with any of the other heels in the locker room that weren't getting a shot at that belt because it's going back to you now? Maybe they had hopes for it, or was everybody still pretty much a family?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think anybody was. There were guys that were around that time were like Slaughter and Bill Eadie and all guys and John Studd. Everybody had their own niche, and everybody had something going. So or else I didn't notice it.
Okay.
There didn't seem to be any animosity or anybody that had any plans, or there was no outside booking. Everybody pretty much followed what was going. The old man had a book in the office in Hamburg, and that's where he did his booking on Wednesday night after the Allen show, and he'd come in and you're here. For the couple of big shots,
Right.
I want to do this here and I want to do that there. And I'm sure they went over that, and we go over that in meetings before, but
So you go into Vince Senior's office after the taping, and he.
Well, it was a little ticket booth up in front of Hamburg.
Okay.
Wasn't really
makeshift office.
Go as far as an office, but yeah.
How was Pedro about losing the belt again after having had it for 14 months? Now, this is his first pinfall in Madison Square Garden in 18 years.
He was with it. I don't think it. I don't think it went over. Over 100% with him, but he was making good money, and evidently they'd promised him, employment down the road, and he'd done well here, having the world championship before that, and then the Intercontinental title for quite some time.
He did his role kind of diminished at this point. Was that his taking time off of his own volition after having worked a heavy schedule with the title, or did they just kind of?
I think it just kind of happened. Like the Steamboat was coming around. Jake Roberts was. I remember Jake Roberts. I don't know if that was the year or not. But Jake Roberts came to White Plains.
A little later.
But he made a trip to White Plains
Oh, really?
Yeah, up when he was still, to see what was going on, and he'd been there, and other guys said, like they brought other guys, more or less to scout,
Right.
different guys had come in and taken a look.
Gotcha.
That they were kind of courting different stars from different parts of the country.
Interesting. Any remembrances of the old Rogers Corner show when they brought Buddy back to host
Sure,
the predecessor to Piper's Pit, really?
Yeah, sure. I've been involved with Buddy earlier in Florida when he was down there booking for Eddie Graham in '79, I guess it would be probably be. So I knew Buddy, but I'd known Buddy previously, so he was.
So you had a good relationship with him when he came back.
Yeah.
Did he get along with everybody?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Except Bruno, maybe.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, except Bruno. That's the answer.
Bruno wasn't around a lot at that
Okay.
time. Only in Pittsburgh, Bruno would show up, and probably Buddy wasn't. They wouldn't book Buddy there. I don't know.
Now Buddy's just a performer at this time, right? He's not doing anything of an agent role or anything, right? When they bring him in to do that show.
No, never was an agent.
Okay.
Just strictly. Well, I don't know what information he led to the office or the meetings or anything. I don't think any.
Okay.
But yeah, he was
Just working.
Yeah.
He was I mean, he was a legend in his own right at the time. So was he forthcoming with the younger wrestlers, or was he approachable?
Yeah, he was well respected. He was a legend. He was a legend to the wrestlers.
Yeah.
To the guys that had known about him and that didn't even know him. Because before I met him in Florida, all the generation ahead of me, Curtis Alkea and those kind of guys had always spoken. Everybody had always spoken. Well, not everybody, and Bruno and other, Cicluna and that crew, that's dirty, no good. But,
This becomes one of your biggest feuds now that you're going to go on the road with.